Welcome back to Stocklabs for another market recap. Kind of the midway point of July. Week ended July 15th. And it was one of the stranger weeks that we had in the market. I think we basically traded, for the most part, we traded down, Monday to Thursday each day. And then Friday was sort of a big up day that got back some of the losses. Um, and then I think Thursday we opened down and then sort of rallied intraday, but never really got green. So it was kind of that the trading action was a bit odd for the week because it kind of looked like the market was strengthening Wednesday, Thursday, but then also not really. And then we had the big up day on Friday, but the week overall was down. So a lot of stuff going on this week. So for our major index performance, Dow led down 0.3, S&P down 1%, Nasdaq down 1.2%, and small caps down 1.5% for IWM. Gold got hit again. Crude got hit hard, down 6%, and bonds rallied. So starting to see these bond rallies sort of, um, bonds aren't getting crushed every week anymore. They've kind of been flat for a couple months ish at this point. Um, and the market hasn't gone anywhere, that whole time either. So you can see that there's still somewhat of there's like a pretty decent correlation with equity performance and the bond market. So yeah, not a strong week, but kind of a frustrating week for everybody. You could probably say. Uh, let's see, the mega caps were so they underperformed everything. Underperformed Nasdaq, underperformed S&P, underperformed even the small caps, and that was led by Google to the downside, 6.5%. Apple was an outperformer, up 2%. I think these guys are going to start reporting earnings soon. I'd have to check the actual dates, but um, Netflix had a big rally on Friday. To go 1% for the week. So it just shows you how much something like Netflix was down into Thursday. It rallies 8% on Friday, and it's only a 1% week. So yeah, I mean, pretty nasty action overall. Some of these. Okay, Facebook was down 3.5, Microsoft was down 4, Tesla down 4. I mean, kind of, it's not the worst week that these stocks have had, but it's also not really that inspiring either. So, um, tough stuff. As far as our industries, what breadth looked like, breadth was not good either. I mean, utilities were the outperformer, basically flat. Services slightly down, industrial slightly down, financial slightly down, uh, and financials were down. Financials had a big rally on Friday too, on the back of some, I think, earnings. I don't know if it was Citi. I saw Citi was up like 10% on Friday, something like that. So financials caught a big on Friday to sort of close this down week to something more respectable than what it was. Basic materials did not recover, so down 3% for the week. Healthcare lagged, down 2.5%. Healthcare has been strong so far in July, and technology down 3% too. So pretty broad. I mean, you can see which sectors sort of led to the downside, but it's also weak overall. Nothing was really, only utilities were marginally up. And we don't have a single subsector that's up 5%, so nothing on the buy side was really attracting a ton of interest. Doesn't seem like. And on the downside, we have Sort of a small like a smattering of stuff that is down over 5%, but not an overwhelming amount. So EVs down 5, gold down 5, SaaS down 6.5, consumer services down 7, copper down 7, and solar down 10. I mean, you see, like copper has been, even just the commodity has been getting kind of crushed. Uh, and it's starting to hit, oil and gas stocks. A lot of these commodity plays have really fallen apart the last several weeks. And yeah, I don't know if there's a catalyst that can turn that around, or if it's just a crowded trade sort of unwinding and finding, a more appropriate level to trade from or anything like that. But yeah, those have been tough trades for the last at least month, maybe 6-7 weeks, something like that. If we look at our breadth from a market cap perspective, we've got the 1 to 5 billion cap down 1.7%. We've got 5 to 10 billion down 1.6, so kind of in line with the Russell. Large caps down 1.7 again, so basically the same. Mega caps down 1.6 again, like very uniform. And Terra caps over 100 billion, okay, down 9/10, down 0.94, 1%, something like that, basically in line with S&P. So, really can't draw a whole lot from this. I mean, that you had broad weakness across industries. You had broad weakness across market caps. You really can't find pockets of sustained strength on a weekly basis. So if we look at what intelligence is expecting for this week, we don't have a whole lot of stuff here again, which has been pretty much the theme the last few months. Okay, ultra short Brazil. We've got gold miners. I think this is short gold miners. Dust. That sounds like a short ETF. SPXU. Okay, short S&P. It's the first time we've seen this just outright short S&P ETF on here in a while. And what is this? Some sort of energy ETF. So not a whole lot to choose from, but sometimes that makes it easier because there's less things you really have to focus on. And on the short side, okay, ultra short natty gas is bearish, so that's bullish natural gas. I mean, I think natural gas has pulled back a sizable amount from the highs, but probably the trend still looks okay. So, the opposite of cold is oil. And then energy bear ETF is bearish, so bullish energy, which I think we had another week where we were saying be bullish energy, and it was like a total liquidation of all things energy and materials and everything, which that happens, but yeah. Okay, robotics bearish, cannabis bearish, some kind of internet fund. Okay, VIX also bearish. It's just weird. If the S&P, if the S&P is bearish and the VIX is bearish, then it's kind of going to be a pretty sloppy week, because most likely you're just going to trade down, but very slowly. Like, it'll be a slow motion sort of sell off that kind of does more chopping than anything. Okay, cloud computing bear ETF is bearish, so bullish cloud computing. Remember, SaaS was one of the worst performers this week, so maybe it bounces back next week. And okay, gold miners bearish. Okay, that makes sense with the dust one rated bullish. So, okay, gold miners not looking good for this week. Okay, this is funny. Gerber Kawasaki is bearish this week. So someone can let Ross know over on Twitter that his fund is probably going to collapse this week. And what do we have here? Industrials, Bull Etf, so bearish industrials for the week. I mean, a lot of things rated bearish here, although some of these are short ETFs. So let's see. So bullish natural gas. Okay, the energy trade maybe will be okay this week. Cannabis. I mean, it had a big rally one day this past week, but I think it was already sort of giving it up on Friday or something like that. And then, okay, gold miners looking like a short this week, along with Gerber Kawasaki. Yeah, so we've got kind of in no man's land here for OBOS. If we look at intelligence for the overall market for the week, it's kind of slightly bearish, down 1.4% for the week. If we're using tech score, down 0.4 if we decide to look at hybrid. But either way, soft week. About 60% chance of being a down week. Let's see if we back test just 6 months, basically this year. Okay, yeah, so it's even worse if we just look at this. If we don't back test an entire year back and just back test for this year, then yeah, it's going to be a bearish week. Down 2% or 1 to 2% basically. Yeah, so seasonality for July. I think the Nasdaq's up for the month, but I don't think the S&P might also be up. Yeah, S&P's up for July so far, and so is the Nasdaq. So we're already sort of outperforming this July sort of average move. So I mean, the window is there to see some downside into the end of the month, and then still sort of close up-ish for July. So there's no reason to probably get too excited for like a big rally from here, but anything's possible. So it's been a wild year so far. So we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, so tough week this past week, but I mean, also kind of a little bit of a break on Friday, where a lot of the losses for the week were paired, at least if they didn't totally erase. But yeah, you really want to start seeing some certain sectors. I know biotech's been good for a few weeks now. But you really see more sectors sort of start to put together better uptrends than what they've been producing. It's like every sector, if it's up in a week, it just gets whacked the next week, and some other thing tries to maybe take over, but then that one gets whacked too. So there's like no, you really have to be on top of the positions you're holding, especially if you're going to hold them for more than a couple days, few days, something like that. So yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Be back next week to see how we're doing. And yeah, summer trading pretty light. I mean, the range has still been big, but yeah, it's been good so far. So talk to you guys later, and good luck out there.